Fan is running.
I think
too.
we're connected. Are we back? Oh, so then that just...
Fan is running. Is it on? Not.
Okay, we're back. They're saying so. That's weird. No Safari.
No.
Nothing else connected to the internet.
No. Yes, the fan's running.
Yeah. So, but it just
What's the
13%.
CPU usage? Yeah. That's the first time since we did the policy of keeping Safari off in the background that we've had a drop.
So it's at least much better than it previously was.
Yes,
I don't know what would have caused that then.
What time is it?
9:09.
So just at the turn of 9 o'clock, something happened. Started talking about Google negatively, so maybe.
Saying, I bet it was Twitch. They wanted to show us their new annoying ads. But, Wisconsin 1988 is a question. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a little while, I think. But question about drawings. Did old famous carvers draw their work, or did they carve someone else's drawing? So we've talked about that, I think, before. But usually it was a separate designer, like Hokusai. He didn't carve himself. He would draw or use a brush and
four separate
make the
people.
design.
So
Yeah.
Publisher, designer, carving team, printing team. 4 separate groups.
Yeah.
Never overlapped.
Yeah.
The people who designed never touched the blocks or paper. Period.
Don't anger our glorious omnipotent overlords, Google. Sorry. I really appreciate Google Maps. It works all the time. I do appreciate it, but I have gotten lost. Oh, it looks like other people's systems were all forced to refresh too, so it really may have been just a Twitch system thing. Interesting.
Actually, it happened at the beginning of the stream. You know, I did a warm-up. I was on for about 30 minutes before I set it up ready.
Yeah.
I was text chatting with a couple of people.
Oh, okay.
And it reset about 5 minutes before I went live. Something reset at the Twitch end. I didn't do anything at all. I was just waiting to go live.
So you lost the chat.
All the chat before that had disappeared. So Twitch.
They're saying too. They said, "Oh, we lost the chat."
Yeah, that happened to me 5 minutes before I even went online.
Huh.
So this may be that something's happening at their end. Basically.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how we all got around in Japan before Google Maps. I honestly don't know sometimes.
It wasn't that difficult, you know.
The roads aren't in straight lines and the addresses seem arbitrary.
It's fun, you know. You learn very, very soon when you're here in Japan for the first time. Well, I came here like 40 years ago. You learn one very important rule about addresses: time. And if you're going to show up at 9, if you have a 9 o'clock appointment, don't assume that you're going to get out of the train station and go there in 2 minutes. Leave lots of time. No matter how common the place is, how well you think you know where it is, leave lots of time.
Yeah.
And almost certainly it takes more time than you think to find a place. I'm speaking of the old days before the helpful tools. You know.
Yeah.
As long as you follow that rule, leave yourself appointments. And that's sort of one reason why there were so many coffee shops. You know, if you have a 10 o'clock appointment, get out of the station at 9 o'clock. Even if it's just right across the street from the station, get out of the station at 9 o'clock. Find the place first. Okay, I got it. Now go to a coffee shop and wait till it's time for your appointment, because you can't be early either. So, and I'm only being marginally sarcastic here.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why there are always lots of lessons on how to ask for directions in Japanese textbooks.
Maybe. ここはどこですか? Where am I?
It's fun to get lost in Tokyo. That's true, but sometimes
as long as you don't have an appointment, of course.
If you're not in a rush somewhere, or not, if you don't have a deadline or somewhere you're trying to be, then it's absolutely fun to get lost and go explore new neighborhoods and stuff. Totally. But if you're trying to make a business appointment, it's not so fun to get lost.
Or if you have a print party appointment.
Yes. The first time I visited everything, every time I left the hotel felt like an adventure. But I found everything. It's John Becker. Yeah. Bento 83. Hiroshige did a nice set of prints showing how to get through the countryside.
Well, they were similarly intended as travel prints, of course.
Yeah.
But there were guidebooks published. There were actual guidebooks. Here's how to do it, 10 steps to the next station, whatever, blah blah blah. There were guidebooks. It was a big deal in the early days of woodblock printmaking.
Yeah. Wow.
One of the earliest things, right in the early days of ukiyo-e, was not guidebooks in terms of Google Maps, but for example, a guidebook to the Yoshiwara. The famous publisher, Tsudaiji Zaburo, the guy who published many Utamaro prints and stuff like that. It's not quite sure how much is fact and how much is fiction, but we know he had a print shop right at the entrance to the Yoshiwara. And we know part of his business was doing guidebooks, and guidebooks as in which girls are in which place and how you get hold of them and what it's going to cost you and what their specialties are. And this was a thing. Guidebooks to the Yoshiwara. And that was the financing from those books that he sold gazillions of copies of.
Yeah.
He helped finance the production of, other woodblock prints.
Yeah.
Stuff, It was a big deal. What would that be called today? Your guide to the pleasures of the Yoshiwara. Who to see, what it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
How to get the introductions to this place. How to know where you shouldn't even bother.
Lonely
trying to get
Planet.
in.
How to find companionship.
Like something like that. So Lonely Planet's Guide to the Yoshiwara.
They're saying now that is a useful book. Oh no.
What would be fun is to reprint it with a translation and a guide to this. It would be so much fun. There were tons of them published. They were dirt cheap and really. These were not high quality ukiyo-e books. These were woodblock printed books. Mostly text, a little few maps, some sketches, whatever. And I guess it changed all the time.
It must have.
I mean, the girls were young and things changed. And, it must have just sort of spring 1718. Your guide to the Yoshiwara.
Yeah.
Summer 1718. New, updated. Latest information. You were laughing. That's exactly how it worked.
Yeah. I guess you were there too.
It's either somebody downstairs with no key, or it's a print party change, or. Asuka. Audrey got here before Shiba-san. Audrey has no key yet. Shiba-san does have a key, so Cameron's got to let her in. So. We should better get her a key. Oh, there's no point in getting her a key because we're going to be moving.
Audrey.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting her a key, but it makes no sense. We're moving anyway.
Oh yeah, we'll have a totally different door.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone asked, how big is Tokyo? How do you even answer that? Tokyo includes, is it?
It's like saying how big is New York? What are you calling it? Are you calling, do you include Brooklyn and whatever? It's a different story. Legal Tokyo and physical Tokyo seen from space, of course, are two completely different things.
It's a lot of people.
It's not just that. People are really surprised about it. I went home to my house yesterday. I live in Tokyo. It took me 2.5 hours to get there on the train, and there is as much Tokyo geographically behind my house as there is on the way to my house. I'm not even halfway to the end of Tokyo prefecture.
Yeah.
Now, out there's not many people, so it's a concept. It's a prefecture.
Up there, it just becomes mountains and monkeys.
It's also this way, like New York. New York is a state, not just a blob of people. I mean, they're two legally separate things.
Yeah.
Here, Tokyo is not. Tokyo is the state. There is no city of Tokyo. There is only the state of Tokyo.
Yeah. And then it does have the small
Taito City,
yeah,
which is where we are.
Taito
We're in Taito City. But Tokyo is not a city. It's only a state. So that's a confusing aspect to this.
Ken Hallett said the book you were describing sounds a lot like the playing cards that they pass out for adult entertainment in Las Vegas on the streets today. Apparently they pass out these playing cards with personal stats on each girl with locations and directions.
Really? This is legal or...
Las Vegas is its own thing. Okay.
Morning, Audrey-san.
Good morning.
Really?
Yeah, the
So
urban
those-
sprawl is insane.
So those will be updated, what, like frequently?
It must be, yeah.
So this will be advertised for the girls. It's pay to play, right? They would pay to get listed in there and stuff
Oh,
like
I'm
this,
sure.
or it's all gangster or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Don't
know.
ask. Okay.
So the capital of Japan is the state of Tokyo, basically. That's, yeah.
That's an interesting question. I don't know
Yeah.
the answer to that. The capital. When we speak of the capital of the United States, it's Washington,
DC.
but that's not a state. It's not a city.
It's its own separate
It's its own thing.
thing.
Shiba-san, good
おはよう
morning.
ございます。おはようございます。
I think what's at the capital of a country is not actually a legal thing. It's just a custom. You call that, right? There's nothing in the Japanese constitution or whatever that, or the
Says
laws that says this is defined as the.
I think some countries.
I think no. I think it's just custom.
Okay.
Where do the other countries put their embassies? Okay, put them in Tokyo. That de facto becomes the capital. Right? The capital is not a legal. I don't think it's a legal concept locally, is it?
I don't know. I know it's wherever the central government's headquarters is usually located.
Or as I mean, they're trying to distribute all over the place. They just moved the cultural agency to Kyoto, so all the different agencies are being moved to different places.
Interesting. I don't know.
In the old days, it was where the emperor was sitting. That was the capital.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sitting. Whatever. Sorry, excuse me.
Was that intentional or not?
I don't know what. Oops. Anyway, whatever the emperor's house was, you know.
Yeah.
It was, so I think a capital is a custom. It's not a legal concept.
Yeah.
But the point being, Tokyo, the legal thing that is Tokyo is a prefecture. In American terms, a state.
Yeah. And they're arguing that because Tokyo is Tokyo-to instead of Tokyo-ken, maybe it's not a prefecture, it's a metropolis. But it's hard to say, then do you call Hokkaido, it's a road because it ends in do instead of an island? And then Osaka is Osaka-fu, whatever a fu is. So I think just for
Over
ease
my pay grade,
of use in English, call them all prefectures, simplifies things, but I don't know, like, hard to know the right way to divide up the country.
There's chat about moving the capital back to Kyoto.
Really?
Well, just whatever. The emperor, moving the emperor back to Kyoto and making that the national capital.
Interesting.
Not going to happen in my lifetime, right?
No, Hokkaido is not a ken. They call it the Todofuken, are
The four
the
types of
four different types
organizations. So,
subdivisions of the nation.
and it's historical.
Yeah, one to, one do. I think one fu, but maybe two fus. Osaka for
Kyoto.
sure. I can't remember. Oh yeah, in Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Yep. Osaka and Kyoto are fus, and then the rest are ken.